What's up, guys? I had a ton of people asking after my last video to give a tutorial on how to operate Linestar, and that's what I'm going to do today. Full disclosure, um, Linestar has their own projections. I upload my personal projections. I don't use theirs. I don't know how good they are. I've never used theirs. I've just always had my own model. So I'm sure they're great, but I can't comment on those. But other than that, another thing I wanted to say is Linestar has a tutorial page that is super helpful, probably be more helpful than I am. I will show you how to get to it and what all they offer. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So, first thing I want to show you, you're on the main screen here, how to get to the tutorials. Just scroll all the way down, and there's so many players. I probably should have went to another page to do this. Yeah, let's just go to MVP page. Scroll all the way down. And here it is, tutorial. And there is videos to help you with absolutely anything you need help on right here. They have videos on everything. You name it, they will show you how to do it. Also, another cool thing is if you win using their profile picture, you get a bunch of free merch. I personally have got a hat and a t-shirt from them. But, alright, so Linestar also has projections for NBA, Counter-Strike Go, NFL, PGA, NHL, League of Legends, UFC, NCAA basketball, and I don't see it up here, but I know for a fact they also have MLB. I use them for MLB as well. So, main thing I look at the top here is the over-unders. We're not really focused on that. It's more of how to use Linestar. So they have a bunch of tools here. You got your projections page. You have your updates page. I don't use this much, but it will tell you like who's in, who's out, whose projections has changed on their projections. What I use quite a bit is the projected tournament ownership percentage. This will tell you right now who they are projecting to be the most owned. So like at this moment, Dante DiVincenzo is the most projected owned player, followed by Kyrie Irving. This can help you tremendously with finding out who you need to pivot from and who you don't. They also have the salary comparison tool, which I don't think people realize is such a amazing tool. So you get to look at how the salaries are compared to other sites and find good discounts. Like right here, Walker Kessler, he is 7,900 on FanDuel. He's priced up that much because he has just been a straight baller lately. He's killing it. But then you look over on DraftKings and he's 5,700. It shows you that he is severely underpriced. If I was playing DraftKings, I would have so much Walker Kessler. It just helps you find underpriced guys, and it's such a strong tool that I don't think enough people pay attention to. Next up, you have the salary changed. This shows you from the last slate this player played on how much their salary increased or decreased. Like Rashawn Holmes, he started last game, had a really good game. His salary increased 800. Now I don't know if he starts or not today because Sabonis was at shoot around. But if he does, just an $800 price increase is not bad. I will have a lot of it. Another strong tool. Then you have the perfect lineup. This will tell you every night what the perfect lineup is. I don't really use it, but like right here was the perfect lineup last night. It will tell you everyone you needed last night to have the perfect lineup. Then we move over to live scoring. It's great. When the slate starts, they will give you live updates on who is doing well, who's not doing well. You have your betting odds here. I don't use this because it's not legal in my state, but I'm sure a lot of people would love to look at it. It gives you multiple sites, FanDuel Sportbook, BetMGM, the consensus, what it opened at, of the spread, the money line, the over-under, etc. Could be helpful for finding good bets. And they have a prop finder, same thing, futures bet. And they got Props Edge. Another thing I don't use much because it's not legal in my state, but it helps you find really good props. Um, they have a tutorial video right here. It's just a wonderful tool, and I would love to be able to use this, but I live in a state where I can, unfortunately. Then the usage matrix, it will tell you how much usage a player is getting. It's just a great tool. I highly recommend watching a tutorial on it because it can get overwhelming at first, but once you figure out how it works, you will have an advantage for sure, because usage is such an important stat in NBA DFS. Like, Trae Young's questionable, he has 33% usage. If he's out, all of these other guys get a bump to their usage, which could make them good plays. Such a wonderful tool. One I use so much is the matchup tool. This will tell you what players have good matchups, and I love playing good matchups. Like Ja Morant playing the Lakers here. Well, Ja's a great player, and he's playing the last ranked defense against point guards. He's automatically in my player pool. I've got to give him more looks today, because this tool is so strong at finding players that maybe you otherwise wouldn't have, like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Kind of a mid-range play, but when he's going against the Pacers, who rank 27th in shooting guards defense, you gotta consider that guy. I love this tool so much. Isaac Okoro, he's been starting. He's a cheap guy always, but he's playing Golden State. That's just, they're getting obliterated by small forwards. You gotta consider him now. Then you have the starting lineup tool. Once lineups come out, these are updated, so you will know who's starting. And then it's just a projected starting lineup if the lineups haven't come out yet. Like, we have a ton of Warriors out today, so they are projecting these guys to start. I don't know why James Wiseman's in there. I thought he was out, but I could be wrong. And then they have their news tab, where they just update news about the slate. Can't get more explanatory than that. Now we'll move over to the optimizer, my favorite thing to use. Let's just say, for instance, I wanted to lock a shooting guard, and it's Kyrie. Well, the first thing I can do is just click the lock button right here, and he is locked into every lineup I want to optimize. But let's say I don't want to lock him, but I want to get more exposure to him. I can like him. That's not going to lock him in there, but that's going to give him a little projection boost to get him into more lineups. Now let's say I just hate Kyrie today. This little check mark right here, I can completely take him out of the player pool. He will not be in any lineups. Then we move down here to lineup settings. Top one, how many lineups you want to run. Max exposure, how much exposure you want to players that are not locked. Locked players will get 100% exposure, regardless of what this is set at. This is for every other player. So if I ran it and the optimizer really likes Dante DiVincenzo, he will only be in 90% of lineups, because that's what I have the max exposure at. Projected ownership range. This is, I don't really mess with it much because I personally just try to make the highest scoring lineups possible. I don't look at ownership as much. But if you don't like a guy because his exposure, you can lower this or raise it. And then liked exposure. So if you have the max exposure at 90, but you like Kyrie, you can click this checkbox here, and this max exposure will be ignored. He could appear in 95 or even 100% of lineups. Then you have your like projection boost. So this is interesting. You can adjust how much you want to boost the player you like. So I like Kyrie. I can adjust how much I like him. Great tool right there. You can use the consensus projection that's right here. And this is just kind of the league or the industry standard, what people are projecting them at. This is always use adjusted projections. So if let's say Jalen Brunson's ruled out, but I've boosted him, it will automatically take him out unless this is checked. I don't really fool with that because Linestar's always on the top of it. If somebody gets ruled out, I don't want them in my lineups. Exclude injured players. It's a good one if you don't want injured players on your team. You can set the max players for your team. You can make it to where you only get starters only. Then they have something called fan sense, where that's pretty much the most liked players. They will be in there, or you can exclude them. They'll be out of there. Minimum salary threshold, I don't use this much in NBA, but you can set it to whatever the minimum salary is that you want. Let's say you want it at 4K, they won't roster anyone below 4K. Then variance, I mean, most of you probably know what variance is. It's just how random it gets. And then minimum and maximum budget used. Then you go over here to lineup and you can exclude teams if you don't want teams. You can stack teams if you want to stack teams. And then you have your model, how you want it ran. So I normally play GPPs. So I run the tournament GPP who who gives lower owned players with higher upsides, or I run high ceiling, which is guys who have a high ceiling but maybe have a lower floor. But if you don't want to run those, you can run highest projected and it'll just give you who they project the highest for the day. Or double ups is nice safe players with good safe floors. Then you have the daily matchup, which uses the matchup tool. Where is it? There it is. That will try to get you the players in the best matchups. I use that one a lot too. Predictable and consistent, similar to double ups. It will get you players with nice safe floors. Same with high floor. Then stars and scrubs. You know it's going to fill the lineup with LeBron, Ja, and maybe one more superstar, and then a bunch of lower price players. Points per game, it's just what it says. They will roster the guy that has the most PPG. And this is just a totally random dice roll right here. But with that being said, guys, if you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment and I will get back to you and answer them. Remember, we're live every single day before lock, an hour before lock at twitch.tv/holyjackdaniels, the same name as the YouTube channel. And we go over matchups, we provide a core, we help you in any which way we can. Please feel free to head over to Twitch, give us a follow, turn on notifications. An hour before lock, you'll get the noti that we're live, and I'll be there to help you guys. I can't say thank you enough. Have a wonderful night or day. I love you guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends.